Any of you that's ever built fence, you know what this is. We've been trying to build some fence around here. We've got some of it built up at the front of the property, but we got a lot more to go. A lot. But anyways, I'm gonna unload all this stuff. Alright, so I got her all cleaned out. I just put everything on this little trailer right here, because I can still, if I need to go, if I want to build fence this evening or something, I can hook to that trailer with a Ranger and drag it out there and do it. The rest of this stuff is just trash. I'm gonna pull up in here in the barn and clean that out, and then we'll be ready to put a sprayer back here. Alright, don't laugh. I know it's all beat up, but I usually keep a little corn and my spray rig in here. There's my little spray rig. I'm not gonna put the boom on. That's where I usually keep my corn over there. I'm out right now, but I'm not gonna put the boom on. I'm just gonna use the hand wand, which is right there. And what we'll do is we'll just fill this full of water, and if something happens, it puts out fire pretty good. I burned a little bit under some pine trees over yonder on the other side of the barn, and it wasn't getting anywhere it shouldn't have been, but I didn't want to chase it anymore, so I just took that and kind of sprayed it a little bit. It puts out a good stream, so it's pretty handy. It'll do better than what you think. I mean, now it's not gonna put out a house fire or anything, but a little bit of leaves burning or something, it'll blow them out pretty good. So we'll get it loaded up. Always make sure I strap this down, because it's pretty heavy in the back of this Ranger when it's full of water, and if it goes to shifting, it can kind of throw you off balance, or if you're trying to be quick to get somewhere or something, you want it tied down, I promise. But I'll get all this tied down. I'm not gonna bore y'all watching me ratchet strap, or fight ratchet straps I should say. So to tell y'all something makes you proud to be, a business owner. Clay and Daniel went to that job over there close to Hank's house this morning, and the man that owns the place left them an envelope, because they're going to be done today, and we'll be moving the equipment out either this afternoon. It's Friday today, so either this afternoon or Monday or something like that. But he gave them a tip. Looks like he gave them $100 a piece, and he said, "I want to thank you both for the job y'all done. It turned out better than I had anticipated. I definitely recommend you for land clearing. See y'all soon as I gather up some more money." So that's pretty cool. And he said be safe, and he signed it. But I think that's pretty cool. It makes me feel good that my guys can go out there and do a good job for somebody, and me not have to babysit them. And I don't know, it just makes you proud as a business owner to see stuff like that. And I'm glad they got him a tip. That's good for them. A lot of Briar gets tips all the time. He does such a good job for everybody. But I'm glad they got him one. That's good. That makes me happy to see that. And looks like we're almost full on our water. So it's up past the 50-gallon mark, and that's as much as it'll hold right there. I'll turn the sticker off. Cool. That little chore is done. So now we wait on Thomas. Better look out, Spider. So just to kind of show y'all what we've got here, we've got some volunteer growth pine, and I'll eventually probably just cut all this out of here and replant it, but you see on the ground, this is never, I don't think it's ever been maintained. There's quite a bit of ground cover. So as far as forage for deer and stuff like that, and hopefully kill some of these Joe ponds. So we'll see how it does, but the point of the burn is just to kind of get rid of some of this fuel on the ground, get it where stuff can sprout, new growth can come up, and it protects you in the event of, you know, if all your neighbors, which I have fire lines around my place, I made sure to do that whenever that was one of the first things I did here, put fire lines around. But if your neighbor catches something on fire, they can't burn your house down. So it's, you know, a prescribed burn is a good thing. It's always a good thing if you can do it safely and have some fire lines, know what you're doing, have some machines. Actually, the only thing I have, which I've already pre-done all this stuff, but I've got 2 tractors sitting over there. One of them's Mr. Gary's, but the John Deere's ours. And I got a little landscape rake behind it. What I can do is if something happens, I can take it. Now I can't go through the woods or nothing, but my fire lines, I can knock stuff out of them, and now I've got the water in the buggy, and I have a professional coming. So that's the reason we're doing it. We're not trying to get into any trouble or anything like that, and it's perfectly legal. We'll get a burn permit and all that stuff, and then light it on fire. But it's a good thing for the land. The land really likes it. It puts some potash in the soil and stuff like that, so it's going to be good for our ground. Eventually we're going to probably put some cows out here, maybe do like a silvopasture deal where you grow your pines and your cows on the same place. The only problem we have is it's such sandy soil. We need all the grass we can get. We won't put many cows out here though. Not near enough to hurt it. Just more or less pets, I guess. So what you see him doing now, he's just taking the tractor and trying to clean up our fire lines a little bit. Basically, he's just disturbing the soil, making it where there's really no grass or anything. I mean, there's a little bit of stuff, but you basically just want fresh dirt, that way the fire won't jump it. It's all going to look kind of different after today. So something I just thought of right here. I don't know, I mean, there's not a whole lot of fuel on the ground right here, but I really don't want to burn my camera up, so I better get that joker out of here. Oh yeah, the strap just broke. This joker's been out here a while. Just a little cheap camera, but still don't want to burn it. You can see we done some mulching out through there. I'm trying to get everything to look kind of like that. No real underbrush, just pines and some grass growing under that. That's my plan anyway. Something else you may want to consider is to kind of know your neighbors and stuff when you're going to to do this if you got, I mean, we have landowners up against us, but they're not necessarily really close, but at the same time, we still want to let them know, hey, we're going to be burning, don't be alarmed, you know. Yeah, if you see it on your property, be alarmed, but it is a controlled burn. Just let people know what's going on. It makes for a little better day. That mulching stuff right there, it's not really gonna, I don't think it's gonna burn, but everything behind it will. It'll make it a little easier for us cleaning up, all that good stuff. There's our topsoil pile. Eventually we're gonna build us a screener. My cousin owns a fabrication business, so I'm gonna try to get him to build me a screener so we can screen that stuff and sell it, because it's pretty good stuff. Most of it's pond muck, and we dug some of it out of one of them jobs we put a mobile home on. And there's a pile of just crap. Some sandy clay. Old burn pile I need to clean up. Another thing you should think about, I mean, you can see my house right there. We live in that single wide right there, but you see how far away the woods are from my house. I mean, I can pretty well catch it before it gets there. And we have a line cut over here. We've got this road right here that kind of acts as a line. So, and on the other side of the house is the garden. The barn has dirt behind it, so I'm not really worried about it. But you got to think about stuff like that. Don't just light your place on fire and say, oh crap, now it's in my house. You got to pretty well know what you're doing. We're starting to get a little wind, which would probably be a good thing. As long as see it's clouded up a little bit. As long as it don't rain, that wind will help us a little bit. The guy that's coming over here to help me, he said he actually likes a little wind to keep the fire moving instead of just, you know, because it takes so long for it to creep on its own. But with that wind blowing it, it'll come on through here and it'll be done, and we'll be on to something else. But you see Kaylin fixing up that little line over there right now. So another thing is, I've got this little bow stand right here. I probably need to maybe not take the whole thing down, but you see this strap right here? That fire is going to eat that alive, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this strap off and hang it up over the ladder right there, and I think it'll be fine. But where it's at now, it'll burn up, so I'm going to see if I can get that situated. So here's my lanyard that I get my gun and bow up with. I'll throw it up here. Alright, so I got everything hung up, probably 6 foot off the ground right there. It ain't gonna hurt the metal, it ain't gonna get that hot right here. So, it's about time to take this stand down and put it back in the barn anyways. But I'm not gonna do that today because I don't have any help here right this second. And I did have a camera down here too, where my feeder used to be. So I got it, and I believe that's everything. Now it's just, should be able to just burn. I'm gonna kind of walk around for a little bit more and try to remember some stuff. If I got anything else out here, any more cameras or anything. So. Are you scared it's going to get too green as warm as it's being right now?
Well, that and the temperature being warmer, it's kind of rough on the pine. It's clear cut or pasture.
Yeah, it don't matter.
No issues, but when pines start budding out, they don't take as much heat.
That's right.
It's stressing. And it's harder to contain.
Yeah. So what we're doing now is what we call backing. So he's burning into the wind here. The wind's blowing that way, or this way, and he's burning into it. And it's also a little test strip, I'm assuming, just to see how everything's going to act. And then once he gets satisfied with it, he'll start going up in there. Let this get about 20 yards off of this line. We got a good wide line built. Like I was saying earlier, we built these as soon as we moved in. And then he'll back it up about 20 yards or so, and then he said he'll go in 10-yard strips and let it come back to it. That way it's not getting out of hand, it's not getting terrible big and burning the tops of trees, and like that South Walton fire. Which if they would have managed, they wouldn't have had that problem. What he's using there is called a drip torch. So he stepped in a few yards, you know, just to try to get a back burn going right here, just to see what it's going to look like. Or a head burn, I should say. Head burn coming back this way is what I'm saying. Just to see what it's going to do with some fuel to it. So now he's starting to run his strips back to the line here. It'll be these fires, so when he's coming with the wind, it's a head fire. When he's going back, it's a backing fire. So he's heading to this line now. Looks like it's gonna do pretty good. This ain't ever been burned that I know of. Don't get hung up in there. There's some of that ladder fuel you was talking about. That yo pond's dead. Ooh, it's warm right there, y'all. What's crazy is that'll all be over with in just a second, and it'll be back to just this little line right here. Sounds like another yo pond just went up. You can hear them leaves crackling. See, it's already almost down to just this little line again down through here. Pretty good sized pine tree right there. These are all volunteers. But from an aesthetic point, I think it'd look good with just pines out through here, maybe an oak here and there, but we're probably going to start burning this about once a year, every other year at least. Say goodbye to them yo ponds. That heat will kill them, and then they'll bush out on the ground a little bit, and you can come through here and spray them better, or burn them next year. Get rid of them jokers. This would be a good looking place. And this is where, and my tree stands right yonder. This is where I got that one of them cameras a while ago. got it burnt pretty good out through there now. This is about a 5-acre block here, and we're more than halfway across it. He's going about 10 yards at a time and letting it burn back to it. And then when we get on that other side, when he feels comfortable, we'll light it and let it come on through. But it's doing a good job, doing a real good job. He's pleased with it. He said he didn't think it was going to do this good, but there's so much fuel on the ground right here that I believe it's going to do really good. It's going to be a different place. All right, so I want to show you all this. This is what we call a flanking fire. See how he's going long ways, and what that does is it'll expand, and it's a little bit quicker way to back, and also at the same time it's getting you ahead and coming too. It's smoky now, looking like a wildfire. Too bad it's under control. All right, we're almost through. There's the driveway right here. Almost made it to the driveway. He's coming through with a no line right there. I got to be careful and not get caught in between them. He's doing a great job. See, it ain't hurt that tree stand a bit. So that's good. Yeah, it's even closer up yonder. Got it going on. Burning good right yonder. Or another yopon. It's doing a really good job right here. I mean, there's still some stuff. It's burning the top pretty good though. But yeah, it's doing a good job. It should kill some of these yopons and get rid of some of this underbrush, slow the growth of it anyway. But yeah, it's doing a good job. These hardwoods don't really like the fire as much, but I think it'll be alright. It didn't get super hot right there. But them yopons, I hope it burns all of them. Any of y'all that live in the southeast, you know what a yopon is. And you know how bad they are. They burn good and they grow even better. Old deer scrape. Dang deer scrape right there. There's this little limb he was putting his glands on. It ain't been active in a while, but that's pretty cool. This is kind of the result. You see one little fire burning back in there. There's one back yonder. But other than that, it turned out really good. It'll kill a bunch of this undergrowth and get it out of here. We had one casualty, the old radio. How much was that radio?
Well, $7.
$7 radio. Dadgummit.
Might put us in the hole.
Yep. I don't think we're making nothing on this job.